What's the most likelihood that I'm going to actually get this versus giving up possible position? That's always my equation that I figure out in my head. Is it worth to go for this submission? Is it going to cost me position, or is it better to go for position? And there's always a little balancing act, and depending on an exact number of angles, you'll find the answer to that. Okay? But I always want to start with the highest probability first. Whenever you're standing over somebody in open guard is your best, most likely chance to catch a leg lock that finishes from the top, okay, when you're standing over open guard. This is the best place to go to it from top because you haven't passed at all, you haven't gotten to side mount, you haven't gotten even to half guard. So if all else fails, you should be able to get back onto this same position without losing any position. If you go for a leg lock and it fails, your goal should be to end up right back here. You never want to go for a leg lock and lose position. If you think you're going to, don't go for it, okay? That's why you see a lot of guys tell you leg locks aren't good because you give up position. It doesn't have to be that way. It's your choice whether or not you're willing to give up position for it. Okay, so whenever you're standing over someone in open guard, they like to usually rest their feet on your hips. Right? This is reasonable. You're going to see the legs are wide. They're trying to control you. Best place to enter into your leg lock. What I'm going to do, I want to get one hand and I'm going to cup the calf on the outside of the calf, not the inside. The inside I don't have good control, but on the outside I do very little work to be able to control this leg. At the same time, I'm going to bring one leg off, and I'm going to bring my knee inside the thigh. Here. Okay? What this is going to do is going to pin this hip to the ground. And what you'll find as we go through all the leg locks, almost every leg lock requires you to pin a hip to the ground. So you know the hip sticking up, that's my attack hip. The hip on the ground is going to get pinned, and it's going to be very hard for him to defend as long as I keep that angle with his hips. Okay? So I'm going to come in here. Now, I'm just going to yank this up real quick and duck my hip at the same time just to get it off my hip. Okay? It's a very quick movement that I'm just going to go here and then here at the same time. Here, here. Once I get here, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on this knee. I'm going to bring my hips around and I'm going to sit. And I'm going to keep this pressure, but I'm not going to squeeze on his leg or anything. All my work's going to get done by my legs. My hands are going to stay pretty free. Here, 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 here to here. With my foot, I want to try to get my heel kind of by the belly button, right underneath the belly button, okay? Stay nice and loose for me. I want the heel nice by the belly button. My legs, I want to get my hips around his leg. So what that means is if I start trying to pinch right now, his leg is going to have like this much gap between here and my hips. So what I need to do is I need to open them up, bring it in tight, and now close around it and isolate the leg. For almost every leg lock, I need to really isolate from this joint down. He can't have control over these joints. If I'm going for this and he controls this, it's too weak. Okay, I have to control from above the knee downwards. Anytime I go for a submission on the legs, my knee should always be pinching around the leg to hold control. If I start squeezing a lot with my arm, it's very hard to adjust my position. So I'm confident that I can hold this position right here without anything else. Toes are in the back of my armpit so that I can put pressure on it if I need to. And I just hang out here. My heel's digging in towards me and pushing down his abdomen. My other heel is coming into me and pinching the knee. And I can use this foot, if he starts moving a lot, to control this leg if I need to. But I shouldn't need to. I'll usually want to keep this foot buried. So now, if Vito starts to move or try to escape from here, I should be able to hang on to him with just my legs. Go, start moving. It's like go that way, drag me a little bit. Okay, I can hang on to this very little effort like this. But if I'm trying to hang on like this, now I'm burning the same kind of energy he is. Okay, now to enter into my leg lock, what I'm going to do is I need to get, if you think of the way this joint bends, it goes straight up and straight back, right? So if I want to isolate this joint, put the pressure on it, I don't want to come down here and try to put it because the joint's here. So right where you see that bend at is where your forearm you want it to be. And what you'll notice when you sit for this position, after you lock your legs in, you go to adjust your arms, it'll just catch right there. Okay? I'm not pinching tight, I'm just keeping pressure going upwards here, and it'll catch. Once it catches, then I get deep, I hold it tight, and I make a fist. The other hand's coming over the knuckles of the fist, fingers are coming in, and I'm compressing my whole chest here. Okay, everything's very isolating the foot. Nothing touching here except for my legs and my body, but my arms, I don't want this arm to be at an angle. It takes a lot of the pressure off. A lot of guys will teach the leg lock, the Achilles lock, like this. It's not bad, but the problem with this is it's good for control. Sometimes you'll switch back and forth to hold on to a guy, but this is better for finishing because it isolates and it puts more pressure here. Whereas when I go to here, my wrist turns flat, and now I absorb a lot more of the pressure on my own body. So I want to turn it this way to get more pressure there. So again, I drop from my leg lock, I'm cupping the calf, here, here, here. I'm using this foot to keep him down. His escape is to come up. We'll go to the escape in a minute, but I want to make sure that he stays down and on his hip. So I'm pushing my knee to keep his leg sideways. He wants to get his foot flat so that there's no room for his ankle to move. But if I push this knee this way and shrimp at the same time, now he's got it back in the air and I can go infinitely backwards. So now to get my grip, I'm going to bring my heels in and my hips out just a little bit. Heels go in, hips go out. Okay? So I'm tight here. I'm going to loosen pressure just a little bit. Heels go in, hips go out, and I'm going to slide through and back in. Okay? Once I go back in, here, adjust. This can take your time. Don't rush your grip. Concentrate on your legs. If your legs are good, your grips will have time. Here, here, here. Clamp tight. Here, and now I'm going to arch my hips through and try to get my hips to come out the top of his ankle. That's the pressure I want. Okay? Everyone got that? Let's go over it again. Okay, I'm open guard here. If his legs are just dangling, great. Just hang on, you know? Hang on. If he's dangling like that, if the guy doesn't know leg locks, he might be dangling. Or if he's usually blue belt or lower, there's a good chance his legs are going to be dangling. And if he's blue belt or higher, probably he's going to be here. You know, because if he's trying to come in, he can just stay with you now all the time. So I'm going to come here, 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 here. Combination of kind of moving your hips around in and out. Get to this pressure right here. When you get here, it's almost a certainty that he's going to start going to like a scissor sweep type position here. So he's going to start turning his hips this way and, you know, trying to control you here. It's almost a guarantee. So when I go here, he's helping me by pinning his own hip. I'm going to bring my hips into him and sit down. Key here is I don't want to fall backwards. I don't want to do this and then go back here and not have control of his hip. I want to sit straight down. Here, here, here. Okay, right away, here. Everyone's got that? Now from here, I'm going to turn my hip, here, fish it in, get my grip. You see, sometimes I'll go here just to hold my position, then I'll go here to finish. Then here, pinch, hips through. Everyone's got this? Let's do the escape real quick. Here, he's going to try to block this leg from coming over. Here to here. Once he blocks the leg, he's going to start coming up onto his hand, passing over the knee. That's key. As long as I can keep this knee in, he's in danger. So he's pushing on this knee. Other hand. Grab this one. Grab this on me. Head. Push the knee. Okay, that's what he wants to do. Once he gets here, this is still not safe because if I can shrimp or bump my hips and get my knee in, I'm back in. So he needs to get an underhook now. And other hand. And free his leg and kick his leg down. Okay, now you're safe. One more time. Here, here, here. This allows me to drag his hips with me if I fall wrong. Okay, this grip right here. So if I was here and I fell all the way back there, but I hold on to this grip, it's going to take him with me. Very easy to hold on to that grip, okay? All right, guys, so from here, he's going to start right away. He's going to block this leg, or if it gets there, he's going to take it off. He's going to start coming up over the leg, grab the underhook, under. If I'm here, there you go. You want to go in between my arm and his leg, and now pull and kick at the same time. Good, perfect. Okay, guys, grab your partners. Let me make sure everyone can do this, please. Let me go over a couple of other entries for this leg lock real quick, just so that you have a couple other options. Okay, the only other one we're going to do from open guard. It's a little bit fancy, but I've seen this actually work in fights. It works really good. I've seen it work in grappling events. And it's something you can do like if it's the end of the match and you need something kind of desperate, okay? All you're going to do is you're going to grab on to the ankles and you're literally going to start yanking them around, right? But this is mostly best if the guy starts out like in closed guard. So he goes to close, I'm going to come up, hang on to your guard, okay? I'm going to come up to here, I'm going to grab him here, and I'm literally going to start helicoptering him until he opens. As soon as he opens, I'm going to sit for the leg lock. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to start spinning him. Starts opening into the leg lock. Works extremely well, guys. It's a very good last minute, gotta win kind of move, okay? On to the next move, and then you guys can practice that one as well. I'll show it one more time, okay? I'm here. Here. I'm gonna base up onto his bicep so I can get up without any danger. Here. Right away, explode, okay? Now, right away, I'm gonna start tight and spinning him. If you grab your leg, you're going to something different. But this is a surprise attack. Right away, I start spinning him. Boom, start spinning him. He opens, sit down. Same leg lock series. Okay, now, I get into my leg lock. I'm here. And right away, the guy starts like a wrestling type escape. He turns to his belly and tries to bail, right? Go ahead and bail. Do the whole escape. What I want you to do is this. Grab it. Okay, it's not unusual that as the guy starts going for a leg lock, the guy's going to turn and try to like shoot out of it like a wrestler. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is when I go for a leg lock, I'm expecting that. So when he goes to turn, I'm going to turn with him. And I'm just going to catch the heel here, pull his hip backwards, and my foot's going to slide underneath. This motion stops him from turning. So I'm lifting this off the ground. If he wants to turn, he needs his foot to turn. Go turn. You see how he turns there? This motion pulls him back down. Heel in the hip to turn the hip, foot in the knee. That's the motion. Okay? Now, as I do that, I'm going to lace my legs and shoot this one through and pull this one up. Okay? Right away, my toes lock in place. Other foot comes over and locks. I'm going to bring my hips in close, keep his knee bent, reach for the heel hook. This part of the arm, the bone of the forearm, slides in thumb first at the middle of the foot, and then behind the heel, all the way. So about right here, I feel his toes kind of by my armpit, my thumb is free. Okay, now from here, give myself a high five, so gable grip, thumbs, attach your chest to the ankle, and then now turn your chest that way. Okay, I'm bringing my elbow towards my ear, that way. Don't do this. If you do this, the guy will slip constantly with you. Okay, here, turn with your whole body. This position, guys, he's not escaping from.
No chance.
So you have to be very responsible here. If I do this against a guy in training, and he doesn't know this move, I gotta be ready to let go. In training, guys. If I go for this guy in training and he starts turning the wrong way, he's going to be out for 6 months with knee surgery. Nobody wants to do that to one of your training partners, okay? This move, be very gentle with it. All heel hooks are very gentle moves. There's no forgiveness in the ligaments, okay? How you know that it's time to tap out on a heel hook is when there's pressure. It's not really going to hurt per se. It's not like every other submission where you're like, man, that really is hurting, I got to tap. It's like, it feels like a lot of pressure, and then you just hear an explosion in your knee. It's terrible. You don't want it, okay? So whenever a guy goes for a heel hook on you in training, if he locks that position good, tap out. You know, work the escape a little bit. But the second that foot comes around the heel, it's too late already at that point to worry about an escape. That foot comes around the heel, you tap out, okay? Competition's different rules of the game. In training, your goal has to be to come back in here again tomorrow to train, okay? One more time. I set up for my ankle lock. He starts turning. Foot goes on the heel to catch the hook. Okay, like a normal if I'm catching a hook in the back. This foot kicks at the same time and yanks back. Feed the foot, come perpendicular to him. The more perpendicular I get, I can literally submit him now without my hands, just by putting my legs straight. Okay? The pressure that I'm putting on this heel hook tears this ligament. Okay? There's a ligament that runs along the side of the knee called your LCL that will tear from this. Be gentle with each other. Let's try it, guys. Coaches, pay a lot of attention. Which is a standard on that side, the same side the leg's on, is called an outside heel hook. There's something called an inside or an inside out heel hook. And what that is, I go for this heel hook, and a lot of times what happens